everyone around you is like stressing about homeschool, and you're like, my kid is 3 or younger, or maybe has a developmental delay and is like they're 3 or younger, and you're like, for me, homeschool doesn't even cut it. But you don't want this time to go to waste. You're willing to do whatever it takes for your kid, but you don't have the training. You've come to the right place. My name is Julie Meyer, and I happen to know that you as a parent have powers far greater than any of us therapists or educators can ever have. Keep watching. What I'm going to be introducing today is something that I do with all of my new clients, and I revisit periodically with families that I've been working with for a while as a check-in to get us recentered and to help us chart our paths moving forward. And that is an informal play assessment. And that might sound a little bit funny. How can play be so helpful? And you may have heard people say before that play is the work of a child. And so while your own child or one of your children might not be in the place for worksheets and video lessons, it doesn't mean that there's nothing to be done. So there's actually a lot to be done, and there is a path that we can follow moving forward. And interestingly enough, it's your child, himself or herself, who is going to tell you or show you, I'm going to show you how to do this with your child, what they need from you, even if we're not getting video lessons that are giving us guidance like the way that some older children or individuals who are more advanced might be provided with at this time. So the tool that I use for this is something that I got from a training that I did on the American Speech and Hearing Association website, and I can post a link to that course for professionals watching this. I was able to get continuing education units from this course, or for parents who want a more in-depth education than what I'm providing right now. You could take the entire course if you like. It does cost money, and I know that that's something that people might be concerned about at this point. So what this is, I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to keep this out. This is something that I carry with me on the notebook that I take to every session. And I always reference it as I get in the car from my last session, as I'm going to my next session. What is the play level of the child that I'm going to be working with? And that's what helps me to formulate, as I'm driving to my next session, what kind of activities I'm going to do with that child. So I'm going to put a link to this document that you could print out and look at. If you want to pause and go ahead and print it out and look at it as we're going to be talking together. This guides months and months of therapy and intervention that I do with families. Right now I'm working with young children. And it helps me to know exactly where they are developmentally and what to do at this moment and to make sure that we're moving forward. So I'm going to step behind the camera and put this in front of the camera a little bit as I talk about it. Okay, so looking at this document, and you'll see that there are 4 categories. And if you could print this out, I'm going to sit down and talk to you about it a little bit. We have exploratory play, and the age of emergence is 2 to 10 months. We have relational play. We have some categories under that. The age of emergence, when the age that you expect this type of play to be the child's highest level or main type of play that they're engaged in, is expected at 10 to 18 months. Something called functional play that we're expecting at 12 to 18 months. And symbolic play that we're expecting at 18 to 30 months. So, even if you have a child who is an adult with a developmental delay and you've been told that their developmental level is in one of these ranges, this could still be helpful if it's a tool that you would like to use. But of course, mostly I'm working with younger children with communication delays, and almost 100% of the time, I'm saying almost, even though I can't think of an exception, but just because always is a tricky term to use, that what the child has shown me and the parents in this informal assessment that I'm about to show you, that I usually am able to complete in about 30 minutes during a 30-minute session. Sometimes it takes a couple sessions. Fairly consistently is showing what the more formal assessments have shown in terms of the child's level of development and in terms of communication and socialization. So what we're going to do is, we're going to use this, and what we're going to do is we're going to sit back with it, and we are not going to engage the child ourselves. What we're going to do is I'm going to show you how my materials are set up, and what we're looking for is what I've started calling the child's natural play level. Now, a lot of times a play assessment might be done with a multidisciplinary team, meaning you might have an educator and a speech therapist and an occupational therapist and a physical therapist, and this might be part of what they're looking at. But we don't have to have a whole formal team with lots of degrees and everything, because a mom and a dad and a grandma or an aunt or whoever's raising the children or foster parents know and love your child more than anybody could. And also what happens in one moment might not be what the child is doing generally. But this is going to give us a bit of an insight into where the child is, and you can of course compare what they do in the moment to what you generally see them doing. This is just helping us focus in to know where to meet them where they are. Also, something that might be happening is a lot of times during stressful situations like what we're experiencing right now, all of us might regress. I regressed a little bit myself last night at dinner time when I was trying to cook dinner and my husband and I were trying to plant our garden. And that's okay. We just need to build in a little self-care and try and get back to as normal as we can. So, or if you see a regression is where your child is for the time being with all the stress that's going on, this will help you to meet them where they are for now, and to be engaged with them in the place where they are now, so that we could meet them and help them build forward. And this is actually a tool that can help you to gauge that on a daily basis. So I'm going to go ahead and get behind the camera. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please click like and share with anybody you think can benefit from it. For more videos like this, please subscribe. To request a video on a topic that we haven't covered yet, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll see that, and if I get enough interest, I'll make a new video. Also, you don't have to do this alone. You could join the discussion in our private Facebook group, and the link is in the comment box down below. Or if you're interested in working with me personally, send me a PM on Facebook and we'll make a time to talk. In the meantime, use your powers and take care.